getting ripped tonight. R.I.P. that. Yeah, y'all get it? Because like in Yu-Gi-Oh, because it's a Yu-Gi-Oh shirt with Blue Eyes White Dragon, and if you remember like the first few episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh, Yugi summoned Exodia, and it was, you know, KO for that boy Kaiba who summoned the Blue Eyes White. Let me go ahead and get on with the video. What's up, you guys? Chase the Dark Sage here, and today we're back with another video. And today is going to be a manga reading vlog. And I know I haven't really done one in a while, but that's only because, well, July I didn't read that much because I was in the process of moving still, and in August I did read a good amount to kind of overcompensate. Well, I didn't technically overcompensate, but I had to compensate at least for July. So I did read a good amount in August. So today's video will kind of include some of the stuff I read in July and some of the stuff that I read in August. And obviously I won't be going in depth with every single title that I have read because that would be like a 40 to an hour long video. But if you do want to ask me about any of these titles that I do talk about, go ahead, check me out on Twitch, and then just ask me there. We can talk about it. But other than that, I will be having lightning quick rounds of some of these titles that I have read this month. And I will be going a little bit more in depth on some titles that I kind of really want to talk to you guys about. But I'm not going to take too much of you guys' time. You get what I'm saying? So before we get into this video, before we get into the actual reading log, go ahead, smash that like button if you haven't already. And if you are new to the channel, you want to join Broke Boy Gang, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and hit the post notification bell. That way you can be updated whenever I come out with a new video, and all my links will be in the description down below. So let's get into it. Now the real question is, should I start with the reviews, like the longer reviews that I might go a little bit more in depth with, or should I just go with the lightning rounds? I think I'm gonna go with the lightning rounds at the end. You get what I'm saying? So if you've seen the thumbnail, you've probably seen a lot of the series that I have went through this month. So we're gonna talk about a good amount of them, and a good amount of them was nasty. I had to get my little nasty itching, you get what I'm saying? But a lot of these were other titles that were kind of actiony, some shonen, a little bit of seinen sprinkled in there a bit. But I don't know which title that I need to start with first, but I do have a list of the stuff that I do need to talk about. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get Berserk out the way. Now if you guys do not know, I have been reading Berserk for a while now, and I have plenty of reviews on the channel. I even have a reading log in my last reading log, and where I talk a little bit about the Golden Age arc itself. And also I have a dedicated video for that, so if you do want to check that out, go ahead, link will be in the description down below. But this go around, I have actually read all of the Conviction arc, and I do have to say that I really did enjoy the Conviction arc. Now compared to the Golden Age arc itself, I think the Golden Age arc is a little bit better because the Conviction arc, it gives me that, you know, like a New Hope vibe, and how A Force Awakens, like, you know how episode 7 kind of reminds you about episode 4 of Star Wars. And if you're not a Star Wars fan, that's the only way I could kind of reference it and make you kind of get it. But I will say that the Conviction arc gave me a lot of Golden Age arc vibes, but except there are a few growing moments for the character of Guts, because the whole Golden Age arc is actually character development for Guts, while in the Conviction arc I feel like it was a lot of character development, and there's characters who are the antithesis. I like that word, Jerry taught me that word, where characters are the antithesis of Guts himself, how other characters believe in God and they think that God will do something, while Guts is on the earth and he's like, yo, God ain't gonna be here to save you. You better do what you gotta do right now. So I did kind of like that motive that Guts had. Now, wait. I'm not gonna bring my religion into that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't completely agree with Guts, but you do need to be proactive in things that you're doing here. But obviously, if you believe in a higher being, then he will provide that way for you. That's all I'm gonna say. I am a Christian, by the way, so I don't know if that really relates to what was happening in there. There was a whole bunch of religious stuff happening in that arc, and I kind of did like it. I kind of like the way that Guts was going about it. I kind of like the way that that one girl character that almost got mauled, you get what I'm saying? If you've been here for a while, you know what I mean when I say mauled. When that one girl character almost got mauled by that horse, we call him Horsey around this part. Yeah, when she almost got mauled by that horse, you know what I'm saying? That kind of made her want to switch up her religions a bit, and I understand why, especially seeing it through her point of view and how her world basically changed as soon as Guts came into the picture of this. So I did like the Conviction arc a good amount, but I wouldn't say it's better than the Golden Age arc. You know, it's a little bit under the Golden Age arc. I wouldn't put it on the same stats as Golden Age arc, but I think that the Conviction arc does serve its purpose, and I really do like it, especially where it's about to go into the Millennium Falcon arc, or the Millennium of the Falcon. I don't really know how to say it, but I know that the way that this Conviction arc ended and how it's gonna lead into that next arc, I'm gonna really enjoy it. And I know by the time I'm shooting this video, and by the time this video comes out, volume 8 of the deluxe edition of Berserk is out, and I have seen it in stores. I'm not picking it up for 50 bucks. I'm gonna wait for a sale on Amazon for that bad boy to go like $30 so I can pick it up. But I'm still not gonna read it because I kind of like to binge Berserk and I like to read the whole arcs as it is. So I really did enjoy Berserk. I think Berserk is one of my favorite reads I have read actually this year, and I've been pretty consistent on my Berserk reading. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Berserk and you are of age, go ahead and check out Berserk. Next title we do have on the list has to be one of my favorite series as of right now, and yes, I am nostalgia biased with this series, and I wore this t-shirt in this video because of the series, and that series has to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Now this Yu-Gi-Oh! That I've read is actually before the stuff that we actually know as the mainstream audience in America, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist, which is what we've watched when we were growing up during the 4Kids era. But I actually read Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is the part that comes right before Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist, and it kind of gives you a background of how Yugi got his friends, and how Yugi solved the Millennium Puzzle, and how Yami used to essentially be before they really got into the card games. Essentially, he's trying to show that Yami is the king of games, hence his name, the King of Games. But he also has some type of power where he could ban you into the Shadow Realm, and they don't go into the Shadow Realm yet. Literally, in this part of Yu-Gi-Oh!, and I gotta say this part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is interesting because it doesn't involve the cards like that. There are mentions of the cards, and they actually introduce the cards, but the cards isn't the main focus of this part of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I read. And it was only like, I think 59 chapters, which was a quick read, and I don't think it took me that long to actually binge it, which I'm actually happy that I did read this, because now I have a little more context into the relation of Yugi with Tristan, with Joey, and with Anzu. I forgot her name. Taya. It's Taya in the dub, but in the manga, Joey's called Jonichi, Tristan is called Honda, like the car Honda Civic, and Taya is called Anzu. So it was a little bit weird for my brain to readjust all those names, but I still read them as Joey, Tristan, and Taya, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a long-time Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Especially when I was growing up. I have all the cards still from my childhood, but I do have to say that this Yu-Gi-Oh! Nostalgia that I gotta say that boy Yami, oh, he's a devil. He was on demon time every time he came out until they did the redesign of Yami. And I gotta say, with the first appearance that you actually see Yami in, that man looks like Chucky. Like, that man looks like the broke down version of Yami. Like, he looks like Yami, like, down bad. You get what I'm saying? Like, he kind of looked like me on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, don't go through my likes. Do not go through my likes on Twitter. I will just tell you that right now, but that's exactly how I look when I'm on Twitter, and he just looks like the down bad, down horrendously. He looks like the great value version of Yami, you get what I'm saying? He looks horrible. He looks like Yami with Chucky did the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z. Like, it looks ugly, horrendous, horrible. I hated it. But you always gotta see where things start off at from the beginning. So I actually did kind of like it. I thought it was like a little like ugly cute. Like, you know, like when you something so ugly that becomes cute, you get what I'm saying? But they did do the redesign, and actually Yu-Gi-Oh! Really does start off as a darker series. Like, this man is putting people into comas. Like, he's essentially making these people brain dead to where they could never come back. And I was like, yo, if I had that power of mind crush, yo, you know how many people I would do that to? Maybe I should do that to Godancha. Make them print some Tokyo Revengers. I don't know, but I gotta say that I really enjoyed reading Yu-Gi-Oh! Now it's time for me to go into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist, which is the part that we all know from the anime, and which is obviously going over the card games. I believe it's like 24 volumes, and I got a good amount of them. I've got them in plenty of hauls this month, so if you want to check those videos out, go ahead. Links will be in the description down below. But yeah, I'm having such a big nostalgia bond when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I still love it to this day, even as a 25-year-old man. Now, if only I could use those Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards to pay rent. That would be kind of excellent. Alright guys, now I'm not gonna lie to you, that was probably the last like shonen slash seinen non-nasty review that I'll be giving for one of these longer reviews. And now it's time for me to get into some of the nasty manga that I read this month. And like I said, these are gonna be the longer reviews compared to the lightning rounds that I'll be going over with some of the other series that I read. But let's go ahead and go into some of the series that I read this month that were pretty nasty. First series we got up is Gigant, which is by the same creator of Gantz, and I believe the name of the other series is Inuyashiki. I don't know how to say it, but either way, with Gigant, it's better. I mean, like, you know, I read volumes 1 and 2, and I thought, honestly, it was just weird just to be weird because, and if you don't know the plot, essentially this hub star, you get what I'm saying? This hub star is ran into by a random wandering man, and she gets a device hooked onto her from this wandering man, and this wandering man dies later on. But she gets this device hooked onto her, and it makes her grow big. And throughout all these complications, kaijus and weird phenomenon start destroying the city that they live in. So she essentially uses this device to grow big and to destroy these kaijus, while she's also dating a high schooler. It's weird, but I will say volumes 3, 4, and 5 kind of got me back on the Gigant train. Volumes 1 and 2, I felt like they were just weird to be weird. And I had no prior experience with this manga's work, such as Gantz or Inuyashiki. I never read or watched any of those animes or titles. But I will say that with Gigant, I did not enjoy it at first, but I kind of enjoy it now, only for the nasty man aspect. But I mean, it's about to end in like 4 or 5 volumes anyways. I think it's supposed to be like 10 volumes long, so I really don't have much to look forward to, and I'm pretty sure the story won't be that profound, or it really won't just win me over within that time. But I will be seeing Gigant for the long haul. I will be seeing it to the end, and I will come out with a review for that series, because I definitely want to see where this series goes, and I definitely want to see if you guys have read it, what you guys think about it as well. Like I said, I don't think anything profound or anything great is about to come out of Gigant. But I saw the cover and I saw the premise when I first picked it up, and I was like, yo, I gotta pick this bad boy up. You know I gotta pick this bad boy up, you get what I'm saying? But guys, to end that review off, if I'm being real, I cannot recommend you Gigant. I will tell you Gigant is not good. Gigant is not that great at all. I hate the artwork. It's like he just put everything in CGI and he just pasted it on paper. I hate the artwork for Gigant. Can I draw better? Of course not, but I will say that it just looks like CGI in manga format, and I hate CGI when it comes to animation. Well, when it comes to animation, because it just looks all wonky and weird to me. And I feel like with the CGI art style, I feel like I really don't get the emotions with the facial expressions and things like that. So that's one downside when it comes to the art for me. But I mean, well, you get to see the girl on the front cover naked every now and then, so that's a plus, kinda. I mean, she's pretty top heavy. She got a lot of chesticle action happening right there. She don't got a lot of wagging though. And I'm more of a wagging man than a chesticle man. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I will end the review off for Gigant right there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. All right, guys. So I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to prepare y'all for this. This manga might have triggering things. I repeat, this manga might have triggering things for those who are not comfortable with the nasty genre, you get what I'm saying? Because this next manga I'm about to talk to you guys about is the nastiest thing I've read. It is the nastiest thing I've read. And I cannot recommend this to just anybody. Like, you have to be super nasty to want to read this. And I've seen that Mama Loves Manga is enjoying this manga. And I also enjoy this manga. I don't know if we're both two twisted people, but I really gotta say that I do like it. And I do like the artwork. The story really isn't there for me, but you're there more for the character. And basically, it's that hen. You get what I'm saying? It's that hen, but with a little bit of plot. Not a good plot, but it got a little bit of plot behind it. But it's essentially hen, but with the plot. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And that series has to be Booty Royale. Now, this series was recently released by 7 Seas, one of my favorite publishing companies so far in manga industry. But this series was published by 7 Seas in the omnibus format, and it contains volumes 1 and 2 of the actual series itself. Now, I don't think I've ever seen the singles out in the wild or the singles online, but I will say with this series, Booty Royale, there's a lot of booty. I don't know why it's called Royale, but I gotta say that I do like the main character. I like the fact at first that they established that the main character is 18, because a lot of these nasty series establish that these characters are like still in high school. They're like 17 or 16. I'm like, stop that, stop the cap, dog, stop the cap. Make that character 18 because you drew them like an 18-year-old. Make him 18. That way I could salivate over them properly. But this character right here in this manga, this character, the main protagonist, she basically moves to Japan to become an idol, which is, I guess, like a pop star or like this celebrity type of figure within Japan. But she gets contracted by the wrong agency, and they tell her that she essentially has to be like a pretty scandalous, a pretty lewd bikini model. And she was like, why would I do that? I want to be an idol. And they lie to her and tell her that, you know, in order for you to, you know, become that idol that you really want, because she wants to become an idol that's a singer. In order for you to become that idol that you really want to be, you got to do the groundwork first, and then you got to move your way up. So she's promised this idea from this really skeezy company, you get what I'm saying? And with this company, she works with them for a few years, and they basically blackmail her into saying like, yo, you're not going to become an idol. You're either going to be a hub star, or we're gonna blackmail you. You're gonna have to work for us for free because you put us in a hole with all the promotion, with all the advertising that we did to get you into some of these gravure scenes. Basically, it's like lewd bikini pictures, lewd bikini modeling or something like that. So I saw that and I was like, whoa, did she just get forced into the hub industry? I'm like, yo, where's this going? And so the way that the first omnibus describes the series, I think that the back of the omnibus only describes like the first few chapters of the series. It doesn't really describe the rest of the series. I will tell you, there are some things in there where they encourage mauling. You get what I'm saying? They encourage mauling, which no one should encourage. But in this sense of the manga, they encourage it. There's a lot of, oh, we're going to really maul her. Or they be like, ooh, she doesn't do this. We're going to have to blackmail her and maul her and make her want to do it. And I'm like, yo, what we doing? What the dog's doing, dog? What they doing? So like I said, I cannot in my right mind recommend this to you, but I will say there is plenty of nudity, plenty of nastiness, plenty of cultural shots. I mean, some of the side characters, I mean, woo! There's one side character who she's been a hub star for a while, and she's a really experienced hub star. She like Tatiana in the streets, you get what I'm saying? So she shows everything. She's all about it. She's all about that mauling culture, you get what I'm saying? And she even tries to maul the main character a few times. She tries to get her drunk every now and then, you get what I'm saying? And she tries to, you know, force her against her will in certain situations. I can't recommend this to anyone. So like I said, I cannot recommend this to anybody within my right mind. And if you go buy this, do not tell them the Dark Sage sent you. Unless it's 7 Seas. If they ask you who sent you, tell them the Dark Sage so they could throw me a little bit of a bag, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, Booty Royale. I will be getting more volumes. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will be getting more volumes of Booty Royale. This is the type of nasty. Oh, wait. That could be twisted a little bit. I like the nasty aspect, and I have met other women, or I've seen other women who actually like Booty Royale. I haven't really seen any men talk about it. I think I'm like the only guy that talked about it. But I have seen other women talk about it, and they cool with it. So I'm like, yo, it can't be that bad if they talking about it. You get what I'm saying? And that's a lot of maul type of action in that bad boy. Y'all know what maul means. I feel like I shouldn't have to spell it out for y'all. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, lots of mauling action happening in that bad boy. Lots of we're gonna maul her actions up in there. So like I said, triggering stuff in there. If you're not about that life, do not get it. But I will be getting more. Woo! I could go ahead and expect to get canceled by tomorrow, I guess. All right, guys. So now, since I'm done with my long reviews, it's time to go into some of the lightning rounds of some of the series that I have read this month. And some of these series, I feel like I shouldn't really expand on my thoughts on some of these series because I don't have a full grasp on it yet. Or I just feel like, you know, it didn't really do much for me for the volumes that I actually read itself. Or I actually want to give it its own dedicated video, like the first series I gotta talk about, which is World Harem. Now, this series right here, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is probably my new favorite Nasty Man series. I love World Harem. If you haven't read World Harem, and you're of age, of course, because this is a very Nasty Man title. And essentially, this series is about a boy. Well, it's about 4 guys who essentially are the only males left on a female-populated Earth. That's why I said it. There's millions of females on this Earth. There's only 4 guys. If that doesn't make you want to read it, I don't know what is. Like I said, I will be doing a dedicated video because the series is almost done. I believe we have one more volume coming out in America, and then the series is actually done physically. But right now, I have about 5 volumes because I've been binging it, and oh man, I actually love it. This is like this is good Nasty Man because it has a good plot, it has a good amount of nasty, and I think it's just pretty enjoyable with the actual characters themselves. So if you haven't checked out World's End Harem, like I said, I will be doing a dedicated video on it on its own. Go ahead, check out World's Harem. I really enjoy it. Next series I gotta talk about has to be The Flowers of Evil. Now, this series was recommended to me by my boy Jerry, and if you haven't checked out his podcast, go ahead and check it out where we actually do a live podcast episode. I'll link it in the description down below. But he recommended me this series, The Flowers of Evil, and it's by this mangaka called Shujo Oshimi. I like to call him Midzo Oshimi, you know, because I heard he's mid. No, I'm just playing. Please, I'm sorry. I won't make any more jokes like that. Okay, I'm sorry. But I read The Flowers of Evil, and I think that it is a pretty good series, especially for my first Shuzo Oshimi work. Now, I know he has a series called Inside Mari, Happiness, and some other series that I'm probably not going to read. I think it's called Blood on the Tracks or something like that. But I will say that with The Flowers of Evil, I really did enjoy it. It does have a spice aspect. It's a little bit of nasty in there as well because the main character is a pervert. And this series is essentially about how other characters see what perversion is or what it is to be a pervert or something like that. Like I said, I'll be going into a more in-depth video about this with my boy Jerry because he could probably explain this way better than I am. But I'm gonna give you the dumbed down version of how I feel about it. And honestly, I give this series an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was a quick read. It wasn't wordy at all. And I really did like the plot of the actual story itself. And I did like the characters as well. So yeah, if you haven't read The Flowers of Evil, go ahead, check it out. It's only 4 omnibus volumes. And I gotta say that it is definitely worth the read. I do not regret picking it up, especially in the omnibus form. Usually I don't like omnibus omnibuses, but the Flowers of Evil omnibus is an actual omnibus that's actually done right, which is something I never thought I'd say besides the Berserk omnibuses. But the Flowers of Evil is like a pretty good manga with a pretty good omnibus release as well. So yeah, go check out Flowers of Evil. Next series we got up is Saki the Succubus Volume 1. And I will tell you right now that honestly, I've only read one volume only because I cannot find Volume 2 anywhere. Oh, it hurts my little sage heart. But I will say that I did enjoy Volume 1. I definitely want to get Volume 2, and there's only 5 physical volumes out, so this series isn't long. It definitely doesn't overstay its welcome, but I have to say, with Saki the Succubus, essentially is about this character named Saki, who is a homeless succubus and is found by a man who they make out to be a virgin. They make sure you know that he's a virgin, but essentially he adopts Saki, and she has to feed on his manly desires, you get what I'm saying? Like, she has to feed on his manly essence. That's what they call it in the manga, manly essence. Oh, it's nasty, baby. But she has to feed on his manly essence, and he wants to do what every man would want to do in that situation. But Saki's like, no, he doesn't want to do that, so I'm not going to tempt him to do that. I'm going to try and subdue myself. And I was like, oh man, she got it twisted, because if that was me in that situation, I wouldn't be as big as I am now. I'd be getting a good workout in every day, you get what I'm saying? Like, yo, he kind of just like me for real, except I would actually be giving the essence rather than holding in the essence. And one night she was actually sleeping in the same bed, and he releases his manly juice, you get what I'm saying? And he falls asleep instead of cleaning it up, and Saki, being the great waifu that she is, because she is a #1 waifu at this point, being the great waifu she is, wakes up, cleans up the manly juice, not with a rag though, with her mouth. She cleans it with her mouth, you know what I'm saying? And she gets that, you know, that urge subdued from her needing that manly essence, you get what I'm saying? And it's Saki the Succubus is nasty. Like I said, only 5 volumes. Volume 2 is very hard to find as I'm recording this video. So once I get Volume 2, I'm buying the rest of it. I'm gonna binge read it, and I'll tell y'all how I really feel about the series. But right now, I actually enjoyed the first volume. It was a pretty quick read, and Saki has a sister. She's also a waifu too, so you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I gotta buy the next 4 volumes to see where it goes. So yeah, I do recommend Saki. If you haven't read it, go ahead and check out the first volume. If you don't like the first volume, I heard that you're not really gonna like the rest. So yeah, you should kind of get your verdict from that first volume right there. Okay guys, okay. Listen. We got the last Nasty Man volume right here, and it has to be Gal Gohan Volume 8. Now, I can't say too much about Gal Gohan without going into spoiler territory, because, well, this is Volume 8 out of 10 volumes. Now, there isn't 10 volumes out yet in America, but once the 10th volume comes out, that is the final volume of the series. So that series itself also does not overstay its welcome, which I really do like in my Nasty Man series. The premise can get really old quick and easy, so I definitely don't want my Nasty Man series to go longer than what they need to be. So the series is about to end physically within 2 more volumes, and I gotta say that once the series ends physically and once I read it, I will be a sad sage, because I feel like I went on this journey with the main female protagonist. I forgot her name because I've read so many other series by the time this video's come out, but I forgot her name, and it's gonna be sad. But hopefully she gets what she deserves at the end. And I do have to say that I really do enjoy Gal Gohan. That is another Nasty Man series that I do recommend. It's not overly nasty where it shows, like, you know, very mature things, but it does do sexually suggestive, ecchi type of stuff, you get what I'm saying? It's kind of covered ecchi, but it's not like overly ecchi to where you see everything like you would in World's End Harem, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I do enjoy Gal Gohan, and I just enjoy my gals in general. This is definitely a recommendation for me if you do like that gal type of stuff, like Nagatoro, the gal from Komi Can't Communicate, and the gal from My Dress Up Darling. If you like gals, you will definitely like this one, especially since sometimes she has that little wholesome side, and I'm just like, oh, it's so cute, it's so adorable. But she also, you know, she got the chesticle and the wagon action on lock, you get what I'm saying? So woo! Oh, I don't know if you can really be innocent for that long if I keep looking at you like that. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You get, okay, let's move on to the next thing, because we're not talking about no more Nasty Man manga in this video anymore. Next series that we gotta talk about, which actually recently got an anime itself, which is weird because there's only 1 volume out in America, but it has like 3 or 4 anime episodes as I'm recording this video, which is The Great Jahy Will Not Be Defeated. And honestly, I did not expect to like the series like that. A lot of people told me, you know, if you like Nagatoro, you'll like this series, and I love Nagatoro. I love Nagatoro. So I went into this series, and this series is essentially about a demon general who is second in command to the actual demon lord of the demon realm. She is forced to live from her rich, luxurious life to a very, very, very lowly, humble life. This one magical girl, I guess, comes into the demon lord's domain. She destroys the crystal that gives Jahy all her powers, and this in turn inverts Jahy into looking like a little kid. She's not an actual little kid. She's actually like a full-grown adult that's like thousands of years old, but she gets turned into a little kid who has no powers, who can't really do anything, who can't really lead in anything, and she's forced into the earth realm, and she has to live a somewhat human life where she is literally not able to make rent. She is so broke to where she doesn't even have a bathroom in her crib. You know how broke you gotta be to not have a bathroom in your crib? I cannot imagine. That couldn't be me. I'm telling you right now, that couldn't be me. This demon lord woman thing has to essentially live a superhuman life in poverty instead of the wealthy, luxurious life that she had in the demon realm. So this is essentially a story about you losing everything and you not appreciating everything that you had when you did have it. So now she misses all that type of stuff, and I can see where this goes. Hopefully, like I said, it doesn't overstay its welcome, because a series like that could get super repetitive if it goes on for a really long time. So I hope that it ends pretty soon. But in physical format, there's only one volume out, so I can't wait for more volumes. Like I said, this first volume did get me in the mood of wanting to read and actually watch the anime itself to see how the adaptation is, because that's how I was with Nagatoro. I read the manga and I was like, yo, I gotta watch the anime. And once I watched the anime, I love the anime. So I gotta watch the anime for the great Jahy as well. And if you guys have actually watched it, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm not gonna lie, we're actually making it through these manga volumes pretty quick. We only have 2 more series to actually talk about, and then we're actually out of this video. Next series has to be Zom 100 Volume 3. Now, Zom's a series. It's a newer series by Viz Media. And if you haven't read Zom yet, you've probably been living under a rock. Or if you haven't heard of Zom, you've probably been living under a rock. There's only 3 volumes, like I said. And so far, these volumes have been pretty good so far. Like, nothing bad has really happened. The comedy is on point. The story is on point. I love the characters. Nothing is really bad about Zom. It does move at a bit of a slower pace than I'm used to with usual shonens, but I believe this is a seinen series, so it might be taking its time. And it's about a guy who was working a corporate life, who literally spent all his time at his job and wasn't living life. But now that this whole zombie apocalypse came and he doesn't have a job anymore, now he's actually living his life to the fullest. So that's the quick synopsis of Zom 100. Like I said, I do like the characters. The comedy is pretty good. I heard a lot of people say they laughed their butts off. Me, I did a few chuckles every now and then, but I don't think it's like laugh my butt off worthy. But yeah, I do enjoy Zom, and I do recommend it if you haven't checked it out yet. I will say that there is a few graphic scenes in there, so if you are of age, do not pick it up. But if you are of age, pick it up and you'll enjoy it, especially if you worked in the corporate side of America. And the last series I read this month was Ajin Volume 1, Ajin Demi-Human. And I know this has an actual anime adaptation. I'm not going to watch the anime because it has CGI in it, and I really don't like CGI in my animes like that. Like, it's mostly CGI. It doesn't have like a hint of CGI. It's mostly CGI. But I did read the first volume, and I've heard about this series through Boogie Snacks and East Coast Manga. And honestly, I gotta say that I did enjoy the first volume. While it didn't leave a super lasting impression like other first volumes have on me, I will say that this has intrigued me to want to read more. I do have Volume 2 and 3, so I'm probably going to go through those volumes pretty quickly, because honestly, this Volume 1 was a quick read. And this world of Ajin, it's kind of like, you know, it kind of has that little mystery element to it that I really like. Like, it's a supernatural mystery thriller. I think that's why I want to classify it as a supernatural. It's supernatural because it has the little Ajin demi-human things. And Ajins are essentially these beings that are half human but also half monster, whatever it is. And the only way you can find out that you're an Ajin is if you die. And the main character obviously has an encounter where he dies within the first chapter, but then he comes back to life. So that's how he's actually figured out as one of these little Ajin creature things, and the government is all after them. They're trying to use them, they're trying to experiment on them, and they're trying to weaponize them as well. And there are other like aspects that's happening in the background with the whole mystery thing, and how other people are Ajins, and how some of the actual FBI agents are Ajins as well. Some of them, not all of them, some of them. It's weird, but I like it. Like, it's a good weird, you get what I'm saying? So I can't say I recommend this yet because I only read 1 volume, but this 1 volume wasn't bad, and I do like the artwork of this. I gotta say that the artwork is pretty good in this bad boy as well. But that's about it, guys. I have talked a lot. I'm honestly tired of talking, but we talked about manga, and you know I love to talk to you guys about manga. Let me know in the comment section what you guys have been reading this past month of August. Now, obviously, September, hopefully, I'm planning that I can read most of this Bleach back here, and I can read some more World's End Harem, because, oh, World's End Harem is so juicy. If you are a nasty man like me, go ahead, check out World's End Harem. I really did enjoy it. But that's about it, guys. Let me know what you thought about this reading log down in the description down below. I know this video is a little bit longer than some of my usual videos, but it's a reading log. I gotta tell you guys about some of the stuff that I've been reading lately. So hopefully you did enjoy it. If you are new to the channel, you have not already, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, post notification bell. If you haven't liked the video yet, I don't know why you wouldn't have. Go ahead, ahead, do your boy a big favor by liking the video. That way you can boost me within the algorithm. That way you can keep the lights on in this crib. You get what I'm saying? And I always gotta do it. A huge shout out to my Patreon pledgers for going ahead and financially supporting channel, guys. I highly appreciate what you guys are doing for me, financially donating on Patreon. And I gotta give a huge shout out to the YouTube members for also financially donating on the YouTube side. I gotta say that those two groups of people deserve the biggest architecture that I can give them. And if you are not a YouTube member or a Patreon pledger, go ahead and do that. You can view these videos way earlier than what the normal subscriber can see, because, well, these videos get like recorded like a week before, and so you can see these videos like a week early compared to everybody else. You can comment, you can do all that type of stuff. So you can have bragging rights to your friends who also like my content, I think. And I gotta give a huge shout out to Broke Boy Gang, aka those people who are actually liking the videos, commenting on the videos, interacting with the content, and boosting me within the YouTube algorithm to help your boy get paid a little bit more from this YouTube thing. But I do gotta say thank you guys for watching. Dark Sage out. Peace.